I'm back, Rhodes for the Matrixx and Rhodes show. Let's talk about Kathleen Kennedy, because we got a rumor out there. It's very interesting about her possible jettison from Lucasfilm. Finally, as we know, Bob Iger has returned to Disney as the CEO. Bob Chapek is out after having gotten bitch slapped by the great Ron DeSantis in Florida. He is out. He's run that company into the ground. Stock prices are a dumpster fire. I had done a video probably 6 months ago over on the network channel where Disney had lost something in the neighborhood of about $63 billion. Ouch. After playing chicken with Ron DeSantis and losing because they chose to get even more involved in politics than they had already gotten. And Lord knows Kathleen Kennedy had gotten them involved in politics. Ryan Johnson, Kevin Feige started turning Marvel to the direction of going ultra woke. Disney started including all these LGBTQ elemental P characters into their content, and they've been paying the price for it too. Did you see the box office for Lightyear? It was a total flop, and it's been one flop right after the other. Wakanda Forever was a big virtue signal, and it flopped. So you even have Chris Hemsworth coming out and saying, I don't want to work with any more eccentric directors anymore. I don't blame him. I saw Thor and Love and Thunder, and it was awful. It was one of the worst films I've ever seen, and certainly one of the worst MCU movies that has ever been hatched. So now, after so many years and so many rumors, we get this one today from the Direct. And interesting source, being the Direct, it does make some sense. It's something I've heard before, that she would be out after Indiana Jones 5 drops. We have no idea what's going on with Star Wars films. They're basically non-existent. Rumor had it she had been told to not talk about any more future projects, because nothing can actually be followed through with, it seems. And things get canceled. Things get moved around. And she's got that history with Solo, and then giving Ryan Johnson a Star Wars trilogy before The Last Jedi ever came out, and it turned out to be a dumpster fire, ruining the Skywalker legacy. Let's get to this. After 10 years in the position, Kathleen Kennedy's reign at Lucasfilm is rumored to be coming to an end in 2023. Kathleen Kennedy has been the president of Lucasfilm since 2012, when George Lucas sold his company to Disney for $4.05 billion. During her time as president, Lucasfilm has produced 5 live-action Star Wars films and began a new television era for the galaxy far, far away on Disney+. A decade into Disney owning Star Wars, and fans have had a mixed reception of this generation of the franchise. Many are critical of how the sequel trilogy turned out after a divisive sequel in The Last Jedi and a generally disappointing finale with The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, hell, everybody on both sides of the fandom hated it. However, there have been many high points. Many? Really? Rogue One, The Mandalorian, and Andor. And yeah, Andor's good. But that's it? I mean, come on. After years of chatter that Kennedy may not last as Lucasfilm president, a new rumor indicates that her time may be done sooner rather than later. And guys, I've been sitting back waiting for this rumor to drop after Iger returned. YouTuber John Campea revealed on his live show that his sources have indicated that Kathleen Kennedy will be removed as president of Lucasfilm either before the release of Indiana Jones 5 or shortly after. I figure it will be shortly after. They're going to let her have Indiana Jones 5. make sure her name is on the destruction of yet another beloved franchise. Because if those rumored leaks are true, God help us all if you're an Indiana Jones fan like me. Quote, "This is what I've heard. I have heard that the decision to remove Kathy Kennedy," and by the way, John Campea is a Kathleen Kennedy fan. He liked The Last Jedi. He did. "I have heard that the decision to remove Kathy Kennedy has already been made, and that she will be gone either sometime before or very, very, very shortly thereafter the release of Indiana Jones 5. Now, I want to be very, very clear here. I cannot independently say to you and confirm to you that this is a fact. I will say that one of the two people that have contacted me has a 1,000% average on things they have informed me of. So you're saying this person that you're sourced has never been wrong. This, in turn, would mean that the new president of Lucasfilm would oversee any future projects, including the next film, set to be released in December 2025. I don't even think we know what that is. Do we know what that film is? Before revealing what two separate sources told him, okay, he's got two sources. Campea explains that previously thought that Bob Iger's recent return as the CEO of Walt Disney Company would help entrench Kennedy even more. I considered that as well, and would stay as Lucasfilm president till her contract runs out in 2025. Quote, "I had heard a lot of people write in and ask, now that Iger's back, do you think that means Kathleen Kennedy's gone? And I had a lot of people write to me on social media in the comments, writing to me directly asking about that. And my response was, well, no. If anything, it's the opposite. Bob Iger has traditionally been a Kathleen Kennedy ally. And with Bob Iger coming back, I have a feeling that will entrench her even more and that she will probably stay out to the end of her contract. I mean, I've said for a while, I don't think she lasts beyond the end of this new contract she got. I think she's out either by or shortly after 2025. I do think she needs to move on. I've said that for a long time, but I think Iger coming back only more entrenches her." Campea further explained that sometimes he is corrected by sources after speculating on his show. Interesting. So somebody reached out to him and told him he was wrong. Quote, "Two separate people, completely independent of each other." And I can tell you, as somebody that used to break Star Wars news, if you want to be right on something, if you got two separate people that have nothing to do with each other telling you the same thing, there's a damn good chance it's going to be right. Said Kennedy would be out in 2023. All right, sometimes I will say something on a show, and then like in the case of Edgar Wright, I will get contacted by certain people in the know that would say, hey, you said this, it was a great show, but you're wrong. I will tell you this, last night, in the last 14 hours, last night I got an email from somebody very connected, and then this morning I got a phone call from somebody even more connected that got in touch with me. Two separate people, completely independent of each other, that got a hold of me and said, oh, John, Kathleen Kennedy's going to be more entrenched that Iger's in. I'm like, yep. They answered, you're wrong. The new president of Lucasfilm in 2023, if this rumor proves to be true, many fans will celebrate like the Ewoks singing Yub-Nub after the second Death Star exploded. Okay, so we don't know who could possibly take over. I can't even begin to tell you at this point. Look, there was a time when the rumor was that Iger actually did want her out. I had been told that myself back in the day when I covered Star Wars on the other channel that's now Black and White Network. But that he used to be a Kathleen Kennedy fan, and I guess on a personal level is still a Kathleen Kennedy fan, but Iger does want to make money. That is the one thing about Iger that is sort of different, I guess, than Bob Chapek. Iger has a mind to close deals and make big deals. Like I said, there was speculation out there I heard on a podcast that will remain nameless that I listened to when this news broke within a couple hours. And there was speculation that either Netflix might want to buy Disney or that Disney might want to buy Netflix. Okay? And the thought process from Netflix would be, even though Netflix has a lot of great original programming like Stranger Things, Netflix doesn't have any historically valuable IPs. Disney does. They've got the MCU, and they've got Lucasfilm, a.k.a. Star Wars. And there might be speculation out there that Bob Iger came back to sort of juice that up a bit, right? Be involved in case that was a situation that might present itself. So, and that's purely speculation, but Iger has closed some big deals over time. It's going to be interesting to see what Iger does from a philosophy standpoint now. Disney has went ultra woke, but I can say this, are they much more woke than they were even when Iger was there? Yeah. There were certainly some identity politics and some wokeness when Iger was still around, but nothing like this rolling off a cliff that Disney has done in the last year. Iger was around when the original Iron Man came out, right? Down around through Infinity War, I guess, in the MCU. And yeah, there were shades of wokeness definitely showing up. Captain Marvel. But nothing like what we've gotten to see out of Buzz Lightyear and that sort of thing, right? There were certainly some identity politics and virtue signaling in The Last Jedi. My God, there's a whole casino subplot that is like a raging FU to capitalism right during the film, and there's other moments like, blatant discounting of men in the movie by elevating strong females. And Iger was around for that too. Although there was always speculation that Iger was livid over the response that The Last Jedi got. But nobody knows. Who knows? We really don't know, but this is yet another rumor. Now we're hearing Kathleen Kennedy might be out. What do we really believe? Like I said, the first thing I thought when I heard Iger was coming back, I thought, well, she could even be more entrenched, just like Campia said. But almost in the exact next thought was, yeah, our Iger could pretty much give her the heave-ho immediately. Or pretty shortly after coming back. I feel like he is there because of backlash that they have taken in one place and one place only. And that's with the shareholders involved. The shareholders are furious. They're furious over losing money, and they're furious over the content that Disney is putting out now. And those shareholders they're of all political beliefs. Yes, many conservatives are shareholders in Disney, and they are pissed, and they've been very publicly vocal during shareholder meetings. Iger was always good with shareholder meetings. Just saying. Tell me what you think. Matrixx and Roadshow fans, I had to do a video and talk about this at length. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First. 25% off USA First. Go now.